on for more on this. Let's bring in Republican Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator, great to see you. Happy to have you here this afternoon. The former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo joined us on this program Monday. He said we have enough information today to hold China accountable. You have been leading that charge to hold China accountable. So simply put, what can you tell us that the congressional investigation revealed, the specifics that would lead you to believe that we can punish China for this today?
Sandra, we know that our diplomatic scientists had concerns about this lab back in 2018. That is part of what Secretary Pompeo had that he was working on. We also know that there was money that went from Dr. Fauci's agency, the NIAID, over to the Wuhan lab. What we are troubled by and what we have to have more information from Dr. Fauci and also from the Chinese, the Communist Chinese Party, and the World Health Organization is what the interaction was and what the interface was on this gain of function research. We have to have the ability to know if this was a lab leak, if the disease from 2019 that some of the scientists had, if that was indeed the first cases of COVID-19. So beginning to pull all of this together, seeing those emails from Dr. Fauci, knowing that there was concern, that there is that paper trail, Congress needs to come back to an investigation of this. And I will tell you, Sandra, I do think that this is something that should be handled by the appropriate standing committees. Now, maybe the House is so divided they can't do it, but the Senate, whether it's the Intel Committee, the Foreign Affairs Committee, Health, and of course...
What about the State Department, Senator? What about the State Department? Pompeo also said in that interview that anytime he or some others within the State Department, Walls, brought up this idea of the Wuhan lab leak theory, that it was poo-pooed, that to a point it was not even PC to do so. So should there be an investigation?
Well,
who knew what when inside the State Department?
Absolutely. And see, that is where the Judiciary Committee, Senate Judiciary Committee comes in. See, you've got all these standing committees, and it turns out that this cover-up, this spreading of the pandemic, all of this would touch so many different committees. You even get into Commerce Committee with the internet and the exchanges between Zuckerberg and Fauci and crafting a PR campaign and building out a narrative, cherry-picking stats. This is something that the American people are incredibly upset about this. I tell you, I did a telephone town hall with Tennesseans last night. The way there has been the COVID cover-up, the way there is this disingenuous talk from the Biden administration and Vice President Harris about the border, that was the majority of the questions.
So let me move on to that, because Kevin McCarthy is slamming the entire trip, not just her comments on not visiting the border, but he said the only thing Vice President Kamala Harris managed to achieve in the last 3 days was avoid actually dealing with the worsening crisis at America's border. So obviously this continues to be the criticism from those within your party. She did not commit to a time and date of a visit, but what is being done to make the situation at the border better? And now we're hearing rumblings that those even within the White House walls are not happy how this trip went.
Well, the Biden administration is doing nothing. And what we are hearing from Border Patrol, from ICE agents, from your local law enforcement on the ground is that they are totally overrun. 174,000 apprehensions in 1 month, over 500,000 since January. They cannot keep up with this. And this is why your governors, it is why your local elected officials, the mayors down there in the Rio Grande Valley, the citizens are saying, we have had enough of this. And they are going to take matters into their own hands. elections because the U.S. federal government is not doing their job to protect the sovereignty of this nation and secure that border.
All right. Well, everybody wonders what the price tag of this infrastructure bill is going to be. I know you've received an invitation from the Vice President Kamala Harris to meet with other female senators as a rather recent tradition. By the way, do you plan to attend that, Senator?
I do plan to attend that. We'll be there and look forward to weighing in that we need an infrastructure bill that is about roads and bridges and highways and airports and ports and broadband.
Does it include climate change?
No, it does not.
Really interesting. I know you and I have had a chance to talk that a lot of this has been about the dollar amount when it comes to infrastructure. Yes. And to see these talks break apart, we're left wondering what happens next. Real quick, final thought, Senator.
Well, Senator Capito did an admirable job of leading the discussion on our side of the aisle. I think what this shows is that President Biden is not going to take any kind of compromise. He wants what he wants. Their definition of infrastructure is evolving. They are wanting to include all sorts of other and extraneous items. And what the American people want is infrastructure. If they want great infrastructure right now ready to build, go build the wall on the southern border.
Yeah. Senator Marsha Blackburn from the state of Tennessee, really appreciate your time this afternoon. Covered
Good
a lot.
to see you. Thank you.